Hi, good evening, teacher.
Hello, good evening. Yes,
Hello.
sorry. Sorry for the unexpected outcome. Yes, how you doing? All good? How's everything?
Good evening.
Good? All right.
Good
Yeah, Ricardo,
evening.
good evening. Welcome. Yes, sorry for the inconvenience. Yes, the platform Zoom, it was like loading, and I was waiting. Yes, that was unexpected outcome. You understand that part, right? Unexpected outcome.
Yes,
Unexpected
teacher.
outcome, right? Something that you don't expect, and all of a sudden you have this. Good. So we have Catherine's back. Yeah, we lost you yesterday, Catherine. What happened? Did you have internet failures or something?
Yeah,
Okay, or
issues I couldn't.
I see. Well, yeah, sometimes internet is not working, right? But thank you. Thank you for coming. Yes, I was looking, Rick, you sent a picture that it was supposed to be on the 26th, you said. On May
Uh,
26th.
teacher,
Yes. Hmm.
don't worry. It's not personal, teacher. Just I have the question.
Okay, because I was told that we were going to finish on June 1st. On June 1st. So I was told that the class
Okay.
is going to finish on June 1st, but since we didn't have the class, I don't know, was Tuesday or Monday that no electricity, so we're gonna finish on the 2nd, on Wednesday, the 2nd, June 2nd. That's my understanding, but yes, it says here that it's going to finish. Let me see on. Okay, right. I need to confirm it with them. Good. So we have more comments. I know it's Friday, and then everybody's like looking forward to go on Friday, right? To for the weekend. You are looking forward, to enjoying the weekend. I think some of you, maybe. Any plans for the weekend, Jennifer? Any plans for the weekend?
No, don't have plans.
No plans. So you don't
No.
have plans. You just take, for example, unexpected trips. It's just you decide to go to a place without planning, just hanging around. Hang around. The expression hang around. Do you understand that part? When I say hang around, hang when you hang something, and then around, hang around. It's another phrasal verb. When we use the expression hang around, it's like when you take something or you said, I'm gonna go to this place without planning, no planning. You just hang around. When you hang around, it's like I'm bored at home, right? Good. I need to do something. So you take your car or you call your friend and hey, let's go to the beach, right? You go to the beach without planning. That's when you hang around, when you're traveling, going to places without planning or having a maybe or no, a schedule to go. Good, nice. So let me see. Some of you are connecting and then getting disconnected. So today we're gonna reinforce and we need to talk about what we saw yesterday, the past modal verbs, right? Yesterday I gave you a short introduction, and probably in this level you will have just an introduction how it works, but it's not really like a very strong topic right now because there are some other things that we need to learn before we manage this topic like 100% when we use past modal. But in this level, yeah, it mentions about using should have, could have, and would have in the past. And also I gave you yesterday a short explanation about uses of how we pronounce them when we make contraction. the contraction of these should have, would have. For example, just to remind, let me see, Mr. Dominguez, when I have would have, what is the contraction of would have? Dominguez? Mario
Yes, teacher.
Dominguez?
I have.
What is the contraction when I say would have together? How do you pronounce those two words together?
Gura.
Buddha, exactly. Very nice. Good. And Haide, when I say should have, what is that contraction?
Shoulda.
Shoulda, right? Shoulda. Exactly. Good. And Roxanne, when I say could have, what is that contraction?
It's coulda.
Coulda. And then you need a verb in past participle, right? You need a verb in past participle. When you use could have, it's something that was a possibility in the past. A possibility in the past. For example, someone can say, I didn't study at the university. Maybe if I had money, I could have studied a career. I could have, but I didn't, but I could have done it. Yes. And so like that. And how about, let me ask Maricela, when I have the three words, for example, should not have together. How do you pronounce that part?
Shouldn't,
And then you have, should not have.
shouldn't,
But shoulda is like should have.
I don't know.
shouldn't,
Don't have.
Okay.
shouldn't, nah,
It's like at the end, nah, shouldn't,
Shouldn't.
like that. Simple, shouldn't. We're gonna practice about that. Shouldn't, especially the negative part is a little bit more difficult to understand and maybe to pronounce. And when you listen to native speakers saying these kind of expressions, it sounds very fast. And then sometimes we don't know what they're saying because the way that they speak. And that's why I have a lot of people complaining or maybe telling me that it's a little bit difficult to understand native speakers because the way that they speak. Don't expect, you know, Americans to say word by word. No, that they do a lot of contractions and a lot of connections that sometimes we get confused. For example, it says, let me see, this one, a sentence, it should not have here. Good. I have a sentence with a past modal. Remember, should or should have or should not have, and you need the verb in past participle, right? Always the verb. So I have a sentence here. Good. Let me see, for example, Maricela, help us reading this sentence.
it shouldn't have started already.
All right, sounds good. Very good. Let me see, Catherine, read it, please. Catherine,
Let's see.
all right.
Yes, you shouldn't have started again. Already. Sorry.
Already, right? Excel, you need to write should not have, but pronunciation will make the difference. So you can, it's not common to say it should not have started already, too many words. So you make one word here and then you said shouldn't have started already. It shouldn't have started. Yes. Or another one, for example, we in negative is like we could not. Like this. Good. Let me see. Magali, help me reading here.
We couldn't contraction or
Of course, remember that The normal English is like we could not have made it anyway, right? But that's how you write it. But speaking is a way different scenario. So you need to make the contraction and try to sound like native speakers with fluency, a lot of fluency. Try. Remember the contraction when I said should not have. So we made the contraction of should, and not is like shouldn't. And then have is like this one, but when you speak at the end, it's like this one, shoe, and then it's like, and then you separate it, and then shouldn't, 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 shouldn't. Similar when I have, for example, could, and then not this couldn't, but then I have the other contraction of. So then it's like, sounds like could, nah, couldn't, couldn't. I know that probably this is not the right way to explain you the phonetic symbols, but it's just for you to understand how you might sound when you say these three words. Should not have is shouldn't. Could not have is couldn't. Couldn't. We have the other one. Wouldn't.
Teacher, sorry.
Yes.
I got a question.
Of course.
What happens
Yes.
if I move the not after have? The meaning is the same, but the phonetics change a little bit. I don't know.
If you change, for example, here, should not have, if you change it to should have not.
Exactly.
In that case, it doesn't exist. The order of the grammar is not correct. It's like
Okay.
it's like if you want to change it, for example, if you say I do not know, right? What if you change it? If you change it, for example, at the beginning, instead of don't, you said like this one. I do not note. There's no logic in this case. So the structure cannot be moved. You cannot like change it. It has to be in this way. That's why we say wouldn't, couldn't, and shouldn't, like the negative. And then we have, which is another contraction, and we say of, or we say And in this case, to make it easier, faster, no complication, shouldn't, couldn't, wouldn't, shouldn't, couldn't, wouldn't. Yes, thank you. So Magali, go Magali, read it.
We couldn't have made it anyway.
Yeah, but at the end, remember, this is a single word. You can say we could have, and then nah, all together. Couldn't.
Okay.
Couldn't.
Couldn't.
Exactly like that. Okay, now read it again.
We couldn't have made it anyway.
Perfect. That sounds exquisite. That sounds exquisite, right? We could have not made it anyway. Yeah, but we could have not made it anyway. We could have not made it anyway. Remember contractions, made it anyway. We could have not made it anyway. Yes, we could have not made it anyway. Yes, that's American pronunciation. That's the part that we need to achieve, right? We could have not made it anyway. Always, always you need to use this contraction. If you have these past modals, could not have, you need to mention this one, shouldn't not, couldn't not, but don't write shouldn't not, couldn't not, wouldn't not. You cannot write it, but speaking is exactly correct. That's from yesterday. Let me show you something. Probably we will be able to see it just to clarify this. And just give me 1 second to reinforce. Okay, let me, I need to turn off my fan so you can hear.
Okay. Hello?
Yes, I can.
Yes. Yes.
Hello? Okay. Everybody can hear me. Okay, great. So this girl, she's an American teacher. Probably you have seen some of her maybe videos. It's Rachel's English. It's only about pronunciation. If you had the chance, go and visit, and everything related with pronunciation, she has a lot of videos. Yes. So we're gonna listen something related to this. Listen and
Ever heard
watch.
someone say, shoulda? Oh, yeah, I should have done that. What's it mean? In this American English pronunciation video, you're going to learn about shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Listen to the pronunciation. Rachel's English.
Shoulda is a reduction of should have. I made a video years ago about dropping the H in words like have. We do it all the time in spoken American English. But in shoulda, we're going a lot further than just dropping the H. We're reducing the a vowel to the schwa, and we're dropping the V sound. All we're left with is the schwa, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Note that the L is silent in these words, and they all have the vowel as in book, where the lips flare a little bit and there's
It's coming.
some tension in the back of the tongue as it lifts a little bit. Should, would, could, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Let's look at some sentences. I should have been there.
Okay. Can you hear and identify the pronunciation? Rena, read this sentence, Rena.
I should have been here.
There, I should have, right? I should have been there.
I should have been there. Something like
Exactly,
that.
should have. We don't say should have. It's not common to say. It's okay, but it's not very common. Let's continue.
You could have been hurt.
All right, Ricardo, read it. Rick.
So, teacher, I thought I was on mute.
Okay, go ahead.
You could have been hurt.
You coulda. Try to make it like coulda, just simple coulda. You coulda. You could have been hurt, right? You could have been hurt. Coulda.
You could have been hurt.
Hurt. You could have been hurt. Next, Karen.
You
I
couldn't be
should have
hurt.
seen it coming.
I would have been there. I should have seen it coming.
Yeah, I shoulda. Exactly. I should have seen it coming.
I should have seen it coming.
Yes.
I would have been there.
Jennifer?
Would have been there.
We
Okay.
could have tried harder.
Good. Magali?
We could have tried harder.
We coulda. Exactly.
I would have thought so.
Could have tried harder.
Thank you. Catherine?
I would have thought so.
Thought so. Okay.
Sometimes I pronounce these words like this, all the way reduced. And sometimes I make a light V sound. There's no reason why I do it one way or another. I just know that I do, and you'll probably hear it both ways. Now, you don't want to try to write them this way, but speaking, yes, do it. These reductions sound like natural American English. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. These three.
All right, remember, don't ever write shoulda, coulda, woulda. You cannot write like this, but speaking or pronunciation is perfect, no problem. And as I told you yesterday, sometimes you might listen people saying should have with the V sound at the end, should have, or shoulda is okay, no problem, either or. You might hear should have, I should have gone to this place, or I should have studied this, right? For example, when I was a kid, I didn't study English, but I should have studied English when I was a kid. I should have, or I should have, no problem. Let's continue.
Three words together is a phrase we sometimes use to say, oh, well, man, I wish I bought Apple stock 10 years ago. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Bonus. Let's learn the negative too. Should not have. Americans will say this, shouldna, shouldna. Drop the word not and just make an N sound. So it's going to sound like 2 or 3 syllables depending on how fast you transition from D to N. Shouldna, shouldna. Right after should, hold out an N. Shouldn't. The tongue position for D and N is almost the same. Shouldn't. Then just release the tongue to make the schwa. Shouldna, shouldna. This is the same for couldn't have, couldna, and wouldn't have, wouldna. Let's look at some example sentences. Shouldn't have, shouldna. I shouldn't have said that.
Good. Roxanne, read it.
I shouldn't have said that.
Shouldn't have said that. Exactly, right?
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
It shouldn't have started already.
That's the example that I gave you.
Couldn't have, couldn't have. You couldn't have known. We couldn't have made it anyway.
That's the other one, right? Remember this one, it's, let me get Morena, read it.
We couldn't have made it anyway.
I'm sorry?
We couldn't have made it. We couldn't have made it anyway.
Remember in this case, yeah, good, thank you. We do one word, right? It just couldn't have. We couldn't have made it anyway. We couldn't have made it anyway. Couldn't have. Just couldn't have, like 3 words into one, couldn't have. So go ahead, Morena. We couldn't have.
We couldn't have made it anyway.
Made it anyway. Sounds better, right? Sounds
Made
good.
it anyway.
Yeah, we couldn't have made it anyway. Yes, good.
Couldn't have, wouldn't have. I wouldn't have said that.
Okay, good. Mercedes, read it.
Perdón. I would not say that.
Wouldn't have. I wouldn't have said that. I wouldn't have.
Okay.
Wouldn't have.
I wouldn't not. Okay. I would not say that.
Said. I wouldn't have said that.
Said that.
Yes, it's like
I would not said that.
you said something bad and then you said, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, right? I shouldn't have.
It wouldn't have mattered. Wouldn't have. Wouldn't have. I hope you'll now be more comfortable identifying these phrases when you hear them and reducing them yourself in conversation. If there's a word or phrase you'd like help pronouncing, please put it in the comments below. Don't forget to sign up for my mailing list by clicking here or in the description below to keep up with all my latest videos.
All right, good. Now we need to practice. Just give me a moment. Let me turn on the fan is so hot. Okay, I'm back. Whew. So delicious, right? When there's no fan, is the weather is very Hot. Okay, yes. Remember, shouldn't, couldn't, wouldn't. So we're gonna talk about that, and I have some things that we're going to practice. Some little things that we should have done before that we didn't do. Like for example, let me see. What Roxanne? Did you have the opportunity to study English when you were a kid?
No, I started when I was a teenager.
A teenager?
The school when I went, it started 7th grade. So maybe the holidays, the vacations before I get 7th grade, I started English. But it was really basic, like learning Apple tables, things like that.
And do you have any kind of regrets from the past? Something that you should have done that you didn't do?
Learning English, yes.
How would you tell me that regret?
I should have studied English.
I should have studied English when I was a kid, right? Yes, like that. That's a kind of regret, right? Maybe, for example, let me give you a scenario. That's for everybody. I went to a job interview last week, and they told me that I was not like ready for that position, right? I was applying for in my area, let's say that an English position, but they told me that I was not ready. I failed the evaluation, the interview. What do you think happened to me? What should I have done? I had a job interview, I didn't pass. So what do you think happened? Or why did I fail? Any recommendation that I should have done differently in that interview?
You shouldn't practice more.
Yeah. Okay. You should have practiced more before the interview.
That's an example. What else? Give me some recommendations, things that I should have done, that I should have done before that interview.
You should have studied more every night.
Every night. Nice. Good. Another one. Everybody think what you know I should have done in this case.
You should have not been nervous before the interview.
Okay, so remember, should not is like should not have, right? You should not been. Remember the verb in past participle always, right? You should not being nervous, right? You should have, or they will be better like you should have control your nervous, or you should have control yourself. There you go. Thank you. What else? What else do you think I should have done?
We should have practiced.
You should have practiced with someone before that interview. Thank you. What else? Someone said something,
You
Catherine?
should have been more confident.
Very good. More confident. You should have been more confident. Yes, good. What else? Catherine, what do you think that I should have done?
You should have investigated about the position you wanted to apply.
Good. That's a nice recommendation. Yes. Good. What else? Like for example, I don't know, like everybody, we all have like the first time on something, right? Like the first time getting a job, the first time applying for a job, the first time that you took the driving test, maybe the first time that you went on a trip. Everything is the first time, right? Yes. So, but sometimes there are some things that we should have done differently. We should have done differently. Yes. Good. So we're gonna talk about that in a moment, and you need to give me some what we should have done at that time. So it says here, let me see, Karen, read this.
Forgettable first.
First,
Eh,
unforgettable, right?
First, unforgettable first.
Good.
Some moments that mattered.
That really
Eh,
matters. Good. The first one.
First is sleep. I don't know, sleepover.
Sleepover. Yes. The first sleepover.
Eh,
Look at the girls here, the little girls. They are having a sleepover. Like people might say like a pajamas party, right? Or something related, right? But it's a sleepover. The first time that you like keep away yourself with a friend or with friends, maybe studying or playing games or doing something. Sleepover. Thank you. Continue.
Losing your first tooth.
Tooth. Okay. Continue.
First day at school.
Okay.
First pet.
All right.
And first swim in the ocean. First crush. And
nice.
first trip with friends. And high school graduation. And first paycheck. And getting your driver's license. And entering college. And first heartbreak.
Ouch. Your first heartbreak. Did you cry? Maybe yes, right? Yeah, that's normal.
Yes.
Yeah, I should say yes. Okay, right. I was not expecting it. Yes. Yeah. It's first heartbreak, right? That's something common. So good. So when you had your first heartbreak, what do you think that we should have done differently at that time? Maybe we should have controlled ourselves. We shouldn't have shown our tears to the other person. Maybe, right? Good. So we have different things. And like first thing that we need to talk later on, you need to give me using some past modal sentences. How did you feel? What did you do? Right? And I have a short listening that we're gonna do right now. Just give me 1 second. You need to have like a pen and pencil, like people that these some things may be positive or some things that were bad, but what they should have done. Here we go. Let me see. Nelson, read the indications.
Okay. Listen to three people describe important events in their lives.
Lives,
Complete the
in their
chart.
lives. Lives, in their lives. Okay.
Complete the chart.
Okay, very nice. But it says the introduction here. Astrid, what is it? Listening and then?
Turning point.
Turning point.
Yes. Listen to three people describe important events in their lives. Complete the chart.
Events, important events. Good. Let me see. Haide, what is a turning point? What is a turning point?
Turning point. Maybe when they have a good big event in her or his life.
You're very close. Thank you. Yes. Let me see. Dominguez, Mr. Dominguez, what do you understand when I said turning point?
I don't know, teacher. Maybe when you realize that you're having a specific situation and you need to change the way to do something, maybe like something like that. It's like a exactly point when you look for different alternatives. I don't know.
Alternative. Okay. Sounds good. It's related. Yes. Good. Let me ask someone. Catherine, a turning point. What is that?
I'm not sure.
Just tell me what the percentage that you are sure.
I don't know.
Of course you know.
Maybe something that you
Uh-huh.
you realize that that was wrong. I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe. Yes, remember that in the last week we were talking about accomplishments, right? Accomplishments or goals that you obtain. So this is kind of related when you say a turning point is an important moment in life. A really important moment that changed the way that you maybe acted or changed the way that you did things, right? Like Dominguez said, right? The important moments to do something, that's the turning point. Like for example, later we're going to talk about, let's say, movies, the turning point. For example, let me give you an example. In movies it's a little bit different, but also it's kind of similar when in our life. If you're watching the Titanic movie, right? Titanic movie, you have seen it, right? Everybody has, I think. So the Titanic, one of the turning points, like important moments during the movie, what could be an example? When Jack and Rose met each other. That's a turning point. That changes everything in the movie. That could be a turning point. What could be a second or another turning point during the whole movie?
When the Marines didn't solve the iceberg,
Okay.
they are.
When they realized that they were going to crash with an iceberg, that was a really important moment, right? Good. What could be another one?
When Jack won the ticket.
There you go, at the beginning, right? When Jack won the ticket and we're gonna travel, right? That's a turning point when you are an important moment that really matters in life. Like in our case, right? It could be maybe your first paycheck, right? The first time that you receive money, you saw that money, and that was like, I don't know, something that it was very amazing that you realize that you can do some things by working. So that's a turning point, right? Or maybe a turning point is like when you move out of your parents' house and then you need to depend from yourself. That's a turning point in life. So going back to our topic, we're going to have this listening. You need to listen to 3 people describe their important events in life. Complete the chart. We have Nari, Anthony, and Karina. What is the turning point and how it affect him or her? Did affect in a positive way or negative way? You need to write 2 things: the turning point and how it affect him or her. Ready?
Yes. Great.
Yes.
So let me turn off the fun again so you have a nice listening. Sorry, but my fan is very noisy. That's why I need to turn it off. Like Catherine told me last time, I can't hear. So then I need to turn it off. Okay, ready? Let's listen.
Page 74, exercise 4, listening, turning points, part A. Listen to 3 people describe important events in their lives. Complete the chart.
Good morning, listeners. I'm Mark Markinson, and we're back talking about turning points. Those moments when something happens in our lives and afterward, we're never quite the same. Let's go to our first caller, Nari.
Hi, Mark. I'm South Korean and came to Boston by myself when I was 17. Transitioning was hard. I had studied English but had never practiced with anyone. I was so nervous at first. And the second week, I had to buy a cell phone. I was terrified, but the salesperson understood my first question and I understood his answer. The moment that happened, I knew I was going to be okay with my English and get my dream job in Boston. So I guess buying a cell phone was my turning point with my English.
Thank you, Nari. And your English sounds great. Let's go to Anthony.
Hi, Mark. Well, I started working for myself 1 year ago.
What made you decide to do it, Anthony?
I was doing graphic design for this company and I was bored. I didn't like the company or town I lived in. I wanted to work for myself. I'd say my turning point was the day I started looking for my own clients online. As soon as I did that, I knew I was serious. I started doing freelance work, saving money, and 1 year later, I quit my job and moved to Chicago.
Love those entrepreneur stories. We have time for one more call.
Hi, I'm Karina. I'm a doctor, but I didn't always know that was my calling. My aunt had cancer, and I took care of her during the hardest part of her treatment. After she finished treatment, she told me I had taken better care of her than any doctor. That's when I knew I wanted to help people like her. So my aunt's sickness was my turning point to decide my career.
And I'm sure your aunt is very proud. Thank you for sharing, Karina. And listeners, that's all the time we have for today. I'm Mark Markinson. Have a great day.
Let me play it again, right? So just to double check. Second time, try to understand the turning point and how it affects him or her.
Page 74, exercise 4, listening, turning points, part A. Listen to 3 people describe important events in their lives. Complete the chart.
Good morning, listeners. I'm Mark Markinson, and we're back talking about turning points. Those moments when something happens in our lives, and afterward, we're never quite the same. Let's go to our first caller, Nari.
Hi, Mark. I'm South Korean and came to Boston by myself when I was 17. Transitioning was hard. I had studied English, but had never practiced with anyone. I was so nervous at first. And the second week, I had to buy a cell phone. I was terrified, but the salesperson understood my first question, and I understood his answer. The moment that happened, I knew I was going to be okay with my English and get my dream job in Boston. So I guess buying a cell phone was my turning point with my English.
Thank you, Nari. And your English sounds great. Let's go to Anthony.
Hi, Mark. Well, I started working for myself 1 year ago.
What made you decide to do it, Anthony?
I was doing graphic design for this company and I was bored. I didn't like the company or town I lived in. I wanted to work for myself. I'd say my turning point was the day I started looking for my own clients online. As soon as I did that, I knew I was serious. I started doing freelance work, saving money, and 1 year later, I quit my job and moved to Chicago.
Love those entrepreneur stories. We have time for one more call.
Hi, I'm Karina. I'm a doctor, but I didn't always know that was my calling. My aunt had cancer, and I took care of her during the hardest part of her treatment. After she finished treatment, she told me I had taken better care of her than any doctor. That's when I knew I wanted to help people like her. So my aunt's sickness was my turning point to decide my career.
And I'm sure your aunt is very proud. Thank you for sharing, Karina. And listeners, that's all the time we have for today. I'm Mark Markinson. Have a great day.
All right. Partners, here we go. Good. Noel, tell me about Nari turning point. What was her turning point?
Her turning point, it was when she bought a cell phone. Because
Yes.
when she asked her first question and the people understood her, she was very happy.
Okay. And Mercedes, and how did it affect her? Like in a positive or negative way?
I think in a positive because she wants to improve her English.
Okay.
I don't know if okay.
Is gaze kind of related? Yes, thank you. Karen, you're gonna say something?
Yes,
Thank
it
you.
was positive because her dream was a job in Boston. In Boston.
Yeah, because right at that moment that she was able to communicate with the sales person, she realized that she was going to be okay with her English, so she was going to be able to get her dream job, right? So that
Her dream job,
affected
working in Boston.
in Boston. That's true. Thank you. Good. Jennifer, Anthony, what his turning point? Jenny?
Sure. I didn't hear because my internet is bad.
I'm sorry?
My internet is bad and I disconnected for a while.
Okay, no, not a problem. Good. Thank you, Jennifer. Rick, help her.
Yes, teacher. The turning point was when he started to share him his popular clients, because he studied design graphic, and he worked for work for a company, but he started freelance, uh, and that was his turning point.
All right, very good. Thank you. And let me see, and Brennan, and how did that affect him or her?
Affect in positive way because he could move to Chicago and work by herself and himself and save money and move to town and start working at Friedland.
As a freelancer, okay, yes. There are a lot of turning points in life. Good. Marisela, Karina, what's her turning point?
Her turning point it was when her aunt said that she take care better than another doctor that she ever had, and she start to think that she can help other people.
That was her calling, right? That was her calling, that she realized that she was good at taking care of people. All right. And how did that affect Haide? Positive or negative?
Positive because he wants to help other people and he studied for be a doctor. I understood that.
Okay, very good. Yes, it's true. Yes, it's nice. If you're able to understand, that's good. And then, you know, this is kind of related, some turning points and like milestones, like when first job, things like that. We talked about this, similar. And then probably there's a little bit of some vocabulary that you might know. Let me share it with you. This one. We have some vocabulary, it says, can you read the indications here? Let me see, let me get someone. Nelson, read the indications, Nelson. War power.
At what age do you think people possess this train? Possess this train. Check one or more ages for each train.
Okay, good. Yes, it says here personal characteristics. It says here possess these traits. What is trait? Trait? Noe? What is it, Noe? Noe knows it. Trait.
Traits, maybe it could be, I don't know how can I say, but for example, the things that we did or we want to do in the future or we did in the past, I think.
Yeah, is related. Yes, Catherine. Thank you, Noe. What is traits?
I don't know how to explain it in English.
In English?
Like the qualities.
Like quality is similar when we say like characteristics, right? Characteristics. It's traits. For example, if you can tell some traits about Mercedes, right? You can say some traits about Karen, about Rick, everybody. So everybody has different characteristics. And here we have some examples. The first one, let me see, Francia, Mr. Francia, read the first one. It's
ambitious.
Ambitious, continue.
Argumentative.
Argumentative,
carefree,
all right.
Argumentative, sorry. Carefree, dependable, naive, pragmatic.
Not naive, but it's okay, thank you.
Rebellious, sophisticated, wise.
Wise, okay, good. Questions about these traits? Do you have any questions about these traits? No, everything.
What is the meaning of naive?
Naive, okay. Oh, this one is naive, naive, naive. That's the pronunciation.
What is the meaning?
Naive, okay, good question. Who has any idea about naive? It sounds like the president, right? Najib, but it's not, it's naive. Good, naive.
I think that when you're a little bit innocent.
Yeah, when you are innocent, right? When you are like ingenious on something, right? So you ignore some things, right? So you're very naive. Yes, like innocent, let's say, right? It's similar, like not very innocent. Yes, and you can see many people, we are naive in some things, right? Everybody's naive in some things that you don't know that much, right? That doesn't mean that you are ignorant. It's just that you are naive. You don't know very well something because you haven't been exposed to before. But yeah, that's naive, innocent on things. Ambitious, that's clear, right? Argumentative, clear. Carefree, what is that? Carefree.
When something it doesn't important for you.
When you don't care about things, right? Yeah. Carefree is like a Noé. Remember, you have to go to school, high school. Nah, I don't want to go to school, right? I rather play with my friends. You don't care. So you don't care about working, about studying, about anything. So that's carefree. Yes. Dependable. Good. What is dependable? Let me see. Roxana, what is dependable?
I know because I was look into that, but it's like trustable.
Yeah. Yeah, you're when
Someone
trustable is like a person that you can trust, or for example, a person that you know that will give you a solution to something. So the person is dependable. Like, for example, if you have a problem or if you need to find a solution on something, you talk to one specific person because you know that you will get a response. So that is a dependable person. Yes. When it's basically someone very knowledgeable, a lot of knowledge, and then you know that it is going to give an answer. A naive, innocent. Oh, this one, pragmatic. What is pragmatic? Catherine, what is, Magali, help us. What is pragmatic?
Um, is I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Not a problem. Yes, Morena, pragmatic. What is that?
Oh, I don't know, teacher. I I I don't find the words correct to
I
express
don't find the
my
correct word.
idea. Pragmatic. No, I don't know.
It sounds like in Spanish, right? But what does it
Practical.
mean? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's pragmatical, like practical.
Yes, exactly. Pragmatic means someone practical, no complications, right? No complications. So that's when you become a pragmatic person. Maybe, for example, I don't know, when you need to, maybe if you are a boss, bosses, they need to be pragmatic sometimes, right? They need to say things directly, or if they need to fire a person for any reason, they need to be pragmatic, right? So yes, it's simple, no complications. Rebellious, like rebel, right? It's clear, right? Sophisticated. Sophisticated, what is sophisticated? Mm-hmm. Dominguez, what is sophisticated?
I don't know how explain that, but is in the it's like um when you like to do something the better way.
Yes, the best way possible, or you look for the best things, right? Remember the word picky. When you're very picky, you're very selective
Yeah.
with things, right? So you become very sophisticated. Maybe, for example, Mr. Dominguez, when you were studying, like you were dependent from your parents, you didn't have your own money, so you used to dress, or you used to wear shoes or clothes that they bought to you. But now that you made your own money, so maybe you became a little bit sophisticated and you buy the things that you really like. You're more
Yeah.
selective, right? That's sophisticated. And how about the last one? Let me see. Astrid, wise. Wise. Astrid,
Intelligent.
it's true. Yes, correct. When we say wise, it's more than intelligent. Intelligent could be someone that is good in mathematics, right? You can say, oh, Jennifer is intelligent in mathematics, right? She has intelligence for this. But a wise person is not only intelligent, but also knows how to use that intelligence in some other areas, not only one area. That is a wise person. Yes, that's a little bit of vocabulary just for you to know. But in which age do we become like ambitious? When we're teenagers, in the 20s, 30s, 40s, or 60s? Ambitious, that we want things, we want to get things. Which age?
20s.
The 20s?
In their 20s.
Okay. All right, maybe it's true. How about argumentative? Argumentative, that you like to discuss, you like to debate, you like to give opinion about topics.
In the
30s.
30s.
The 30s, right?
30s.
Nowadays, I think in their teens.
In their teens? Could be
Yes,
sometimes.
nowadays the kids they want to an how do you say explicación?
Explanation.
Yes.
Okay. And how about when carefree? When we don't care about anything? When do we become
Their
like
teens.
In their teens.
Things.
Okay, in the teens. Okay, could be. How about dependable? Dependable.
In their
30s.
30s.
30s. Dependable,
Or
like someone with knowledge, someone that you can trust, a reliable person, basically. Maybe in the 30s or 40s, right?
30s or
60, teacher.
Or 60, maybe, right? But the 60 or the 40s. it depends the person, right? Some people will be like in the 30s or 40s. Other people will take time for that. How about this one? Naive.
In their teens.
Their teens. Teens, maybe. Maybe.
20s.
20s.
Or the 20s. Yeah, and some things were very naive. Yes, good. I was laughing once, for example, there was a guy very naive. He was extremely naive. I think he was working in the same company with another guy, and they were like the security guards, and he hadn't seen a vending machine that you enter $1 and then you get the soda. And he said, and he asked the other guy, hey, how can I get the soda? And the other guy told him, you need to enter the dollar, and then you need to talk to the machine to give you the soda. Imagine that. And he did it, and he did it. He entered the dollar, and then he talked to the machine, and he said, give me one soda, please. Imagine, he was very naive. Yeah. And can you imagine the other guy? He was laughing. He was so mean. But that kind of naive, right? He was very naive. Yes. Pragmatic, which age do we become very like pragmatic, like simple, no complications?
30s.
30s? 40s?
40s, I think.
40s?
30s or 40s.
30s or
40s,
40s?
I think.
The transition of
40s.
30s.
I think it's the transition to the 40s, right? Yeah, because by the 40s you have lived already, you know about life, you know about experiences, so then you become a little bit like no complications, simple. Okay, rebellious.
Teens.
Teen.
All right, sophisticated, like selective, very picky.
Maybe in the 40s.
30s.
30s? Maybe, right? Good. For example, if you wanna imagine it's Maricela's birthday and you want to give her maybe a lotion, don't ever think about Avon lotion or something, right? She's sophisticated. You need to give her something that is, you know,
Carolina Herrera.
like maybe Carolina Herrera to begin with, right? Yes. So when you become sophisticated,
Maybe Perrielli.
Perrielli, oh yes, really good, right? Good. That's sophisticated. And wise? How about wise?
60s.
60s. Right? Yeah, I think it's the 60s. Yeah. 60s.
On the 40s too.
40s and 60s. Yeah, between the 40s and 60s. Yeah, you become more wise.
The 50s.
50s. Yeah, yes. Well, that's a little bit of vocabulary. So remember, like traits, naive, sophisticated, pragmatic. I don't know. Good. Catherine, which of those traits do you have? Catherine, which one of these do you have?
Of what?
The traits, like the ones that we just talked. Which ones do you have? Like ambitious?
I don't know.
You don't know? Of course you know. Yes. Are you ambitious, argumentative, carefree, dependable, naive, pragmatic, rebellious, sophisticated, wise? Which one of those do you have?
I think I'm ambitious and pragmatic, and some of carefree.
Okay, and somehow carefree. Okay, is good. I think ambitious, everybody's ambitious. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. If you weren't ambitious, you wouldn't be here. Yes, everybody's ambitious in one way or another. Everybody has different ambitions, which is good. Ambitious is something positive, but greedy is something negative. Greediness is not right, but ambitious it is positive. Now, the last listening before we do some exercises. Here, let me see. Let me get someone. Nelson. Nelson, read, please.
The letters in the bubble.
No, read the yes, but first read the perspectives.
Okay. Listen to recent college graduates talk about their let me see,
regrets.
They regret. Yes.
Regrets.
Do
Yeah.
you have any similar regrets?
Thank you. So, some regrets. Is that clear when I say regrets? Right? Let me see. Magali, do you understand the word regret?
It's like a no. It's like you don't desarrepentimiento.
Okay. Yes. It's exactly like that. Yes. Some arrepentimientos, right? When you regret about something. Yes. That is true. Yeah. Something that you did that you don't feel good about it, or something that you didn't do that you wish you could have done. So those are regrets, right? Yes. Now, for example, I see one of my classmates, classmate from school, when we had the chance to study English, and they said, man, I should have continued with the English classes. I should have studied English when I had the chance, because now they need it at work or for better positions, and now they are studying. But they had the chance before, they didn't want to, but now they said I should have studied. But now it's you have to do it again. Those kind of regrets. Now, let me see. Karen, read the first one, number 1.
I should have done an internship while I was in college.
Good. What is the contraction of should have? Put it together.
I should have.
There you go. Read it again.
I should have done an internship while I was in college.
An internship while I was in college. Okay, good, very nice. Because when you do an yes.
What is the meaning internship?
No, innership. Innership is like when we said here in El Salvador, like passantes, right? Passantes is like when you are at the university, you go to a company to do some practice, or you work for a company for 1 or 2, 3 months just to get experience and knowledge. Understand?
Like a trainee?
Like a trainee? Internship is like we call it like pasantías. Una pasantía. Understand? Is that clear?
Yeah.
Yes, because this will help you to know your market, to know your areas of opportunities, right? Will help you to identify which company you can work for, right? So, but if you don't do this kind of thing, so no experience at all. So she said, I should have done. That means that she didn't. Good. Haide, 2.
If I hadn't been so irresponsible.
If I had been,
if I've been so irresponsible, I could have gotten better grades.
Oh, you're here, number 3, right? Okay, not a problem. If I hadn't been so irresponsible, right? So I could have gotten better grades. That means that she didn't care about school, so she didn't get good grades. Thank you. All right, Jennifer, number 2.
If I'd been more ambitious in college, I could have learned to speak another language.
Right, but maybe we were not ambitious at that time. Yes, everybody hates languages, especially English at school. At school, right? That's common. That's very common. But I don't think that now it's now might be a little bit different. Good. Number 4. Let me get someone. Morena, read number 4.
Okay, teacher, number 4. I should shouldn't have taken out a student loan to pay for the college.
Very good. Yeah, I should not. There you go. I should not taking out a student loan to pay for college. Loan? What is a loan? Loan? No?
No, I don't know, teacher.
It's like a
Money from the bank.
money from the bank. Very good. That's the, imagine that you don't have money, or you said, I want to buy a car. So you go to the bank, you get a loan, and you buy the car. And then you paid a lot of money at the end. So I should have not taken loan from the bank. Good, thank you. Let me see, Catherine, 5.
Okay. If I listened to my professor, I would have taken some additional courses.
I would have taken. Very good, nice. And the last one, number 6, goes to Mr. Nelson.
If I hadn't waste so much money last year, I would have saved enough to start graduate school.
I would have saved. I would have saved enough. Sometimes you will hear people saying, I would have done, but normally it's woulda, either or.
Page 75.
Now just confirm.
Exercise 7. Perspectives. That was a mistake. Part A. Listen to 2 recent college graduates talk about their regrets. Do you have any similar regrets? 1.
I should have done an internship while I was in college.
Shoulda.
2.
If I'd been more ambitious in college, I could have learned to speak another language.
Coulda.
3.
If I hadn't been so irresponsible, I could have gotten better grades.
Coulda.
4.
I shouldn't have taken out a student loan to pay for college.
Shouldn't have.
5.
If I'd listened to my professors, I would have taken some additional courses.
Woulda.
6.
If I hadn't wasted so much money last year, I would have saved enough to start graduate school.
I would have saved. All right. Did you hear all of them? They don't say, you cannot hear like I should have done, right? They speak naturally. Why? They don't think about making contraction of should and not shouldn't, and then have, should not have, shoulda or shoulda not. They don't think about it. It's just something that they learn naturally, right? But in our case, yes, you know that you need to make the contraction of should, not, and have. Put it together, should not, should not. Yes. Questions so far? Do we have questions with pronunciations? No? No pronunciation questions? And this is something that we're gonna do later on about expressing some regrets. Should not, could not, would not. I know that we have like a 4 or 5 minutes. We're gonna do some exercises individually, not in pairs. You need to complete it using should, have, could have, or would have. Now we need to work identifying when you use could have, should have, or would have. So let me show you this. Okay, here. It is Mariela, read the indications. Marisela.
Coulda, Yeah.
Sorry.
Could have, should have, would have. Make the correct past model form. Use could have, would have, should have, plus past participle.
Plus the past participle. Don't forget, the verb will always go in past participle. Number one, you had the verb by. It says past possibility. Well, what is it? Is that should, would, or could? Remember, should is when you say should is recommendation. Something that was recommendable to do in the past.
Good.
Could.
Woulda.
Woulda.
Okay. In this case, you need to remember that we need to write correctly, right? Could have by. Is that right?
No.
Might.
Both.
No, remember this
No.
is irregular
Both.
verb. It's both. Right? Yes. Sometimes when you said could or would are kind of very similar. Sometimes you use them almost in the same way. So we check. Very good, right? We could have both. That is a past possibility. So when you talk about a possibility in the past, it's could have. Pude haber comprado, right? That will be the function. Here, invite. So it's like a past negative advice. Advice equal recommendation. It's in negative, like no.
Should.
We
shouldn't.
Shouldn't, okay.
Shouldn't.
But remember that we cannot write shouldn't, right? We need to write we should not have.
Should have not have.
Invited. In
Invited.
this case, you need to write the correct way, but pronunciation is should not. We should not invited. Now read the whole sentence. Let me see. Haide, number 2. But let's take a look. Let's see if it is correct. There you go. It's correct. Read it.
We shouldn't have invited so many people to our party. I'm worried that he won't have enough room for everyone.
There you go. Okay. Yes. And like this. And how about this one? Well, we only had 3 minutes. Let's finish with this. And anyway, you need to do it by your own. Let me get someone. Let me see. Woulda. It's a past advice. Every time that you see advice, it's a recommendation. And you know that what is the modal verb for recommendations?
Shoulda
started.
Okay, so we have I should have, which is shoulda, and then started. Saving money years ago, or money years ago. Okay, let's check. Very good. You hit the nail on the head. Next, let me see. Astrid, help me with this.
You should have joined it.
But look at here, it says past willingness. Willingness? Willingness. What is willingness?
I don't know what is willingness.
Willingness is like when you have a disponibility to do something. Like, for example, you said, hey, I would like to learn how to play guitar. I have the willingness to learn. Or maybe you can say, I would like to practice sports, right? I have the willingness to practice sports.
We would have joined it. You at the restaurant. But we couldn't get a babysitter.
Yes, okay, maybe let's take a look. There you go. Would. So would is about like willingness in the past, like you had disponibility to do something. Could is like a possibility, something that was possible in the past. And should is about recommendations, advices in the past.
Could have been.
Repeat, would you repeat about would?
Would, yes.
What is
Would,
And could.
yes. Sometimes it's a little bit confusing. Yes, not a problem. Let me repeat it. You use could have when a possibility in the past. When there's a possibility in the past. So let me give an example. I missed the flight. So I was going to another country and I missed the flight. So then I could have woken up earlier, right? The possibility was to wake up earlier in the past. And when I use would, it's like you have willingness, like disponibility to do something. For example, I can tell you, Heide, I would have gone to your birthday if I had known. That means that I had the disponibility to go to your birthday, but I didn't know. But I would have liked to go. All right. And then we use should have when it's an advice, a recommendation, right? A recommendation in the past. In present is like maybe you should exercise more. Good. That is a recommendation. But in the past is like I should have not eaten too much like fast food, right? So now I'm in this shape, but I should have not eaten too much. Understand? You need to complete this.
Thank you, teacher. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
You need to complete this. I'm gonna send it to your group. So you need to complete it. Please do it because this is for you to practice. I know that grammar sometimes is like boring, but you need to know the grammar so you can have a better speaking. Otherwise, you're gonna mix all tenses, right? So it's necessary. And on Monday, we will talk. I'm gonna give you some scenarios and then you should have, you could have, you would have. And think about for Monday, a regret that you have. Is something, any regret that you have. And now that you're in present, what do you think that you should have done differently? Think about something, a regret. I have many regrets.
Okay.
Little ones, but I have. Okay, I know it's time. Thank you, everybody. I hope you have an
Thank
excellent
you.
weekend. Enjoy it, right? Have fun.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank
See you
you.
Thank
tomorrow.
you.
See you
Bye.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
On
Thank
Monday.
you.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.
Bye,
See you
teacher.
Monday.
See you
Have a nice
Monday.
weekend.